You sneezy? All right, folks. So yesterday was day 167 of protests in the city of Elizabeth City in the county of Pasquotank. In the county of Pasquotank County over the police assassination of Andrew Brown Jr. Yesterday was a county commissioner meeting. I spoke at the county commissioner meeting, but it wasn't that incredible. I might upload the footage at some point. But afterward, it was getting dark out, but we still did our daily demonstration. As the county commissioners were leaving, we were using the megaphones and chanting for justice. Right, Max? Max is no longer interested. But anyway, it's been 167 as of yesterday days since the Pasquotank County government decided to spend our tax dollars on assassinating an American citizen. To me, I find that to be unacceptable, and that's why I've been protesting for 167 days in a row. Because, I mean, this is one of those situations where people will often see these things happen and they will just forget about them, and then they will live their lives. They will just continue to live their lives. And when we do that, that is a feedback loop. It gives them basically the cover of darkness. They say that they're allowed to kill people. People might be angry for a couple days, and they'll go home, and then they can kill more people. That's not. I don't subscribe to that theory. I also have nothing but free time, so I am willing to spend a lot of that free time on protesting the government, especially the police shooting of someone that lived very close to me. So it's one of those things where, again, like what we saw last year with the murder of George Floyd, what changed? Really, let's think about it. What changed? Really, what changed was the social consciousness. People, how they think, how they behave. But when it comes to policy, when it comes to how police act, nothing changed. In fact, if things did change, it's gotten worse. Joe Biden is now the president, and he decided to out-fascist Donald Trump in terms of police spending, giving 3 times as much funding to police. What the hell? Police are killing people. There was a new report that said in the last 40 years, police killed 30,000 people. And they're still finding more cases. Reminder, the original statement that the police gave when George Floyd was murdered was that there was a medical accident, basically. If the police didn't show up, George still would have died. It's a medical accident. Huh? What? That's clearly not true. But we see in this instance in Pasquotank County, every single politician in Pasquotank County is corrupt or useless, right? And so the ones that are useless, they might have some good opinions, but they're useless. They can't do anything. And those that have power are corrupt. When Robert Morgan, Daniel Meades, and Aaron Llewellyn massacred Andrew Brown Jr. in a school zone, firing bullets into neighbors' houses that did nothing wrong, right? They got paid vacation and a raise. What? What? Paid vacation and a raise? Are you joking? Is that a joke? No, it's not a joke. The district attorney, Andrew Womble, decided, I'm just going to pretend that nothing happened. They have successfully covered up the murder of Andrew Brown Jr. We don't know why they decided to target him in this fashion. We can guess, we can assume, but we do not know why Andrew Brown Jr. needed 7 sheriff deputies on the back of a pickup truck with assault rifles for a search warrant. You needed 7 sheriff deputies with assault rifles for a search warrant. That wasn't a search warrant. It was a kill warrant. Tommy Wooten, the sheriff of Pasquotank County, authorized an assassination. This is a hit squad. This is illegal. It is unconstitutional. The 8th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution says that no American citizen shall face cruel and unusual punishment. I would say getting shot in the back of the head as you are trying to run away from a gang of criminals, that sounds cruel and unusual. For a search warrant, a search warrant. They were supposed to search his home and his vehicle, and they killed him. I don't think that that's an accident. I don't view that as an accident. I refuse to believe it's an accident. And if it was an accident, again, here are the options. 1, it's an accident, and everyone in the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department deserves to be fired. Abolish the motherfucking department. We don't need it. If your accidents result in people dying, fathers of 7 children dying, if your accidents involve shooting into neighbors' houses, if your accidents involve having bullets fired in a school zone where a school is literally 2 houses down, if those are your accidents, get the fuck out of here. We don't need you policing our neighborhoods like the modern Gestapo. We don't need that. And if it's not an accident, if it was not an accident, them assassinating Andrew Brown Jr., then we need to know a lot more details about what exactly is going on in the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department. Because if this is not an accident, if this was planned, then we need to know why they planned it. What did Andrew Brown Jr. know about the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department that was so horrible to them that they had to go and kill them? Who knows? Why don't they release the tape? What were the sheriff deputies discussing while they were in the back of a pickup truck looking like the modern Ku Klux Klan rolling into a neighborhood with assault rifles? What were they saying to each other? We know that they have unredacted body camera footage that shows the entire conversation and drive leading up to the assassination of Andrew Brown Jr. What were they saying? What were they talking about? Were they strategizing? Did they say clearly that they can't wait to kill him? Why is the footage not being released? If the footage was exculpatory, then it would have been released 167 days ago. But the footage is not exculpatory. There's clearly a lot more really horrible stuff going on in those body camera tapes. That's the reason why they're not releasing it. 167 days ago, an innocent father of 7 children was assassinated down the street from me by the government, and I will not let that rest.